Hey, listeners. If you're on the hunt for more great audio content, I want to share a podcast I just discovered called Kelly Corrigan Wonders. Kelly Corrigan Wonders is built around thoughtful, in-depth conversations with people whose lives reflect curiosity, creativity, and humility. For the past 5 years, Kelly Corrigan has been sitting down with big thinkers and doers, and she has some great guests coming up, including NBA coach Steve Kerr, writer George Saunders, and Father Greg Boyle. Each episode is both inspiring and practical, offering ideas and perspectives that feel especially useful as we kick off a new year. These conversations explore how people think, how they make meaning, and how they approach life with intention. The show is sponsored by the John Templeton Foundation. Kelly Corrigan is a 4-time New York Times bestselling author, a PBS host, and an exceptional interviewer. Kelly Corrigan Wonders has more than 20 million downloads and thousands of 5-star reviews, with past guests ranging from Melinda Gates and Judd Apatow to Bono, Brian Stevenson, and Jennifer Garner. You can listen to Kelly Corrigan Wonders in your favorite podcast app now.
Lemonada.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them. We'll read them. Then we'll give you answers. You know it. I've got it. I've got the answer. The answer. You ask me. I'll tell you anything.
Glenn Milley. That's the name of our new producer.
Are you saying his full? Does Glenn? You can talk now because I don't know. Do you want your government name?
You can use my government name. It's on the internet.
Okay.
So Glenn has come to us. He's our new producer. He's going to help us kick it into high gear. And every time I say Glenn Milley, I think of Young Money. I think of like Nicki yelling it, Nicki Minaj or Lil Wayne. Glenn Milley. And so I just, in my head, I'm like, just so you know, it's Glenn Milley. But this is Glenn. Glenn, do you want to say hi real quick?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm excited for you hiring me because I like having a job.
I'm excited too. We still have to crowdsource to get that money, but we're going to do it. We're going to hire him and it's going to be a great new year. And we're doing today's episode. We weren't going to film it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm wearing eyeliner, but our new studio is being created as we speak. The painters are here. So just know that we're coming to you with fresh ideas and a fresh look.
But I want to emphasize, since the Golden Globes just happened for podcasting, it's still your office. It's still the Ask Eliza vibe. You're not building a studio. You're not making a compound.
Why would you say that? Why can't you make it sound like
because you're not that
really upgraded?
You are upgrading, but you're not gross.
No, but that's not gross. Even if we did build a studio, that's not gross. The internet respects people who put every dollar they have into the production, no matter what it is you're doing. I tried to make it nebulous. You're like, just so you know, it's the same shit. She just painted it pink.
No, it's going to be nice, but I'm just saying, okay, so
that's such a turdy. I was trying to make it amazing. And you're like, it's the same. It's the same. We just hired someone.
I think we should say it's really sad. So please sign up for Patreon.
Nobody's signing up like, oh, it's a new set. They've gone too commercial. Less listeners.
Depending. Yeah. I'd be like, you know what? She's making too much money from this podcast thing. I'm not supporting it anymore.
No, that's insane. You only do that when it's like, I don't even know why you wouldn't support it because I'm still me. It's not like I'm coming to you from my mink and diamond factory where I have slave labor. I'm different now. You know how mink and diamonds are
go together.
In the same place?
I know you don't want to talk about it, but I brought up a few weeks ago, quarters, value going up, value continuing to go up.
Oh my God, you
silver.
cannot talk about coins here.
Silver.
I listened back.
Value.
Gold. Have you read about gold
I can't
today?
afford gold. Yes, but I'm saying they're together. Silver and gold are both going up. And for those of us that can't buy gold, silver.
You got some in the back of your teeth. I know you do.
I wish. No, but I'm saying it's a real thing right now. They're making runs on the stores. The U.S. Mint is like, we're not going to be able to deliver. Like, it's a real thing. People are doing a run on silver and gold.
Always. You should always have some.
Okay.
Remember, did I ever tell you Sharon Stone's advice to me when I met her?
What?
It was invest in gold bars.
That's good.
I was like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
What?
How nice to put you on that level. I mean, you could buy some gold bars. Costco sells gold bars.
Listen to me. Gold is only worth what people are willing to pay for it.
Well, so then my dad was like, well, so gold's better than silver because it's like you can break it up into pieces. So it actually has more value. And I was like, okay.
God, every time we log on, I'm like, please don't talk about bugs in your house or coin collecting. And my mother, I owe you. No, you're not. My mom was like, you need to be nicer to Emily.
She always says that. And your mom, by the way, told you 8 years ago to get a safe. And I said, well, Iliza, don't get a safe and install it just to put cash in there. If you're getting a safe, you put gold and silver in there.
Yeah. And guess what? I didn't listen to anyone and I didn't get a safe.
Yeah. So
because chances are if we're in a situation where I need access to a safe, that's not going to solve anything.
It's already done.
Like if there's a gun to my head, I'll be like, here's my wedding ring. There's nothing I would keep in a safe that I wouldn't keep in a safety deposit box.
But if there's a run on the banks, you can't get at it.
If there's a run on
some stuff buried in the floorboards.
I guess, but the idea that cash would be worth anything if like all of our banks crumbled tomorrow.
It wouldn't.
Right.
That's why gold and silver still has value.
Guess.
That's what I'm trying to tell the listeners. Get your quarters from pre-1965 and you have a little bit of silver in your pocket for when it all ends.
Feels like what we should be squirreling away is cobalt because that's what makes all your phones run and everything. Copper.
If you can get some.
What does this have to do with wedding advice and bitchy in-laws?
I'm helping the listeners.
Can I tell you, yesterday, we're recording today on a Monday because Glenn Mailey put us on a schedule.
We always record.
I feel like we were a fat dog that got put on a diet.
Well, we do need that, yes.
But no, sometimes we record on Sundays. I'm so glad we didn't yesterday. I thought I had COVID. And I was like, not even mad. I was like, this is so fucking lame. My body wouldn't move. My knees hurt. Please don't write in and tell me what you think it is. I took multiple naps. And I was like, is this just 43 coming like a little early and now I can't do a hard workout and function? It was so rough. Anyways, I don't think I have COVID. I feel mostly fine today. Nobody cares. I'm just saying it's a bummer when like mentally you're like, I can't wait to have a great day. And your body just shuts down. And you're like, I guess nothing will make you feel like a bigger alcoholic than being in bed and your kids come into the room. They're like, Mommy, why are you laying down? You're like, Mommy's body hurts. I'm like, come hold my hand.
Sad.
Come lay here next to me. Hold my hand.
Don't get them sick.
I don't know. I feel like everyone has COVID and it's fine. Like we were so over COVID by like the Omicron variation. Nobody even wants to talk about it now.
I know. I think people now are just like, well, I'm getting sick. My blood vessels and heart aren't working as good anymore. It is what it is. This is life.
Like the idea of buying a COVID test. I feel like we had so many swabs jammed up our noses in 3 years. Like you could not pay me to go buy a COVID test because they should be at my house
expensive.
And they should be free. And they were free for a long time. And I don't want to go buy one because if you got it, you got it.
Now. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I just don't leave my home and that solves it.
They're expensive. It should be free. Like nothing is free, but it should be free.
You got an email, Iliza, in the Ask Iliza podcast inbox I want to talk to you about because it's not a question. It is a write-in from someone who was at your set near the pool. Remember you talked about that nice night you had at your set where all the extras were filming in a pool?
Okay, yeah. What? A set or the movie?
At the movie, at the set, someone wrote in who lived on that street and took pictures.
Okay.
And they emailed you and they said, Dear Iliza and Josephine, hopefully emails are correct. They just guessed at both of your emails. Neither one is correct, but they got the podcast email right.
It's at Iliza. It's eliza@aol@gmail.com.
I had the good fortune of witnessing the action on our street during the filming of your movie. I snapped some photos around Paulette's house, the cul-de-sac, and the porta potty in front of our house. On the day of filming, I hit my porch sit-in chair at 5:30 a.m. with coffee in tow. One of the set crew told me it was currently a close-up for filming of an intimate scene. Alas, the daily morning train announced itself with a loud whistle. I assume the sound could be edited out, but could also be considered apropos with, is that how you say that word, Iliza? Oh, Jesus.
You should just cut that out.
I've never seen it in writing.
You should just edit that out.
No, I think people should know it's spelled not the way that you think. Apropos. Within the context of the intimate scene, I also witnessed the applause and whoops of joy when the scene was finished. When the final scene was finished, there were hugs. I determined a gal in a long skirt doing lots of hugging was Josephine. Can you reveal that tidbit, that anonymous source?
Yeah, that was Jeff. If there's someone in a 8-foot birthing skirt. It's our director, Josephine.
Okay. But here's the most exciting part, Iliza. This person saw your movie being filmed and now says, Iliza, I am now listening to your podcast and have watched your specials. I admire your advocacy for feminism and equality. A big yee-haw for the female duo. You two do it all. Congrats to you both. Look forward to seeing the film. Regards, Karen Fingerhut.
That's awesome. That's cool that you saw that. It wasn't intimate. There was like a makeout, but it definitely wasn't like full frontal nipples.
The fact, though, that she saw, this is the first time somebody has she's like, you know what? I'm seeing filming happening. I should go check out this podcast.
When I tell you the amount of making out at like delirious at 4:30 in the morning that we had to do, and it looks incredible in the movie, but it got to their like action, and I'm like picking myself up off the floor. I'm like, I guess I'll make out with this 23-year-old, like sleeping against someone's chest. Things go from like, this will be so hot to like, please, can somebody get me a toothbrush and a pillow? I slept in my makeup that night. It was just so worth it because we're premiering at Sundance.
I know. I need to get my ticket. Oh no, it comes out the 14th, I think. This week is when you can buy online tickets for certain films. So,
but just because you buy it on the ticket doesn't mean you shouldn't watch it wherever it ends up eventually. Anyways.
Oh yeah.
But all of this to say, thank you, Karen. I don't think we thank Karens enough. Emily. No. My mom says I owe you an apology. So I'm sorry, Emily. Do you want to come over to my house and play?
Okay, let's get into the questions. Hey, Iliza and Emily. Well, I'll read you the subject line. Should I hook up with him or wait for non-controversial dick?
Ooh.
For context, I, female, 28, have had an on-again, off-again relationship with a former coworker, male, 34. We'll call him Joe. Okay. From November of 2024 until June of 2025.
Okay, that's a significant amount of time.
Was that 6, 7, 8 months? We
definitely
worked in
over
different departments.
It's definitely
over 6 months.
It's definitely within. It's like 2024 to 2026 or 5.
November 25.
Sorry, what year is it? Oh, I don't know.
It's like 6 to 8 months on and off. We worked
in
different departments.
2 years, Emily.
No. Different departments of the same organization for years, didn't get to know each other super well, but I always caught him looking at me at work functions, and I always thought he was really cute. After I left the organization and got settled at my new job, I reached out and asked him out, and he said yes. I didn't know he was out on disability at that time for an unknown autoimmune disease doctors had been trying and failing to treat, which led to our consistent on and off status, as he seemed to be in denial about how bad things were and was not necessarily upfront with me about all of it and had to cancel on me frequently because of it.
Really? Do we think that's true?
Normally, I would walk away from a guy who was so inconsistent and canceled on me so frequently, but we had an immediate, strong connection, and I absolutely love hanging out with and being around him. We took a break because of his medical stuff from the end of November until January, and then again from March until June. But he quickly reverted back to old habits of not communicating great, seeming overwhelmed with life, not making time for me when we got together. I finally snapped when I was waiting to make a plan with him during a week he said should work. And when prompted about said plan, he said it would be a while because he was dog sitting and would be tied up with that for 2.5 more weeks.
Yeah, you know how dogs never go to sleep and you can never leave the house when you dog sit and it's binding and it's like an ancient curse and you can't move?
When I dog sat Blanche, I could not leave the house because I was so scared because she was such a little person. I was like, I can't. She has to be with me. So
you know who you can always have sex in front of? A dog.
A dog. Okay. Well, he says she says dogs can't be alone for an hour. What did he do with them when he went to work? He wasn't allowed to have guests over to their house. I told him how hurt I was that he didn't let me know and didn't make an effort to see me, expecting to talk it out. And he got defensive and shut down. We argued and ended things again. Yeah. I was heartbroken. I felt guilty for expressing my feelings, which I know I shouldn't. We are now becoming good friends, as we definitely still have that connection. We got drinks and caught up at the end of October for the first time since we ended things, and it was amazing. We talked for hours. He opened up about a bunch of personal things and funny stories he knew I'd love that he'd been remembering for the next time we saw each other.
Oh, cool.
He's not a texter.
Hey, I have a whole itinerary of things to say to you, and you can just listen.
Wait, I like that he says he's not a texter, so he waits to tell me things like that. But I like the idea that it was like not good stories. And he's like, oh, this guy at work said, he's like,
gotta hear about my coin collection.
Yeah, well, exactly. So I came with an agenda. Yep. We forgot to order food at the restaurant because we were so busy talking. The restaurant closed before we got to it and we had to leave.
That server was
He
livid.
he insisted on paying the full bill. It was an $80
Full bill
tab
of
for
what?
drinks. They had drinks.
All right.
He gave me 2 hugs goodbye, saying we need to do it again soon. If I ever needed anything, let him know. I'd been struggling with my mental health for a few months before we met up and was open with him about it. I ran into him again the following weekend at a party. The interaction was similar. We text here and there. I haven't seen him since then. I know the medical stuff is still a major issue. So here is my actual current dilemma. I am so starved for physical intimacy after waiting for Joe every time we took a break and him not being able to have sex because of the medication he was on for his medical issues. When we were together, it was tough, but I was ultimately okay with it because I just wanted to be with him and figured we'd get around to it eventually when he could. I recently ended up on the apps and looked for some casual fun, reconnected with another guy we used to work with who is looking for the same things I am. He's attractive and just wants to hook up. He hasn't worked at the organization for a few years, but I don't know who he still keeps in touch with. And if we did hook up, I don't know how I feel about Joe potentially finding out. I don't want to do anything to hurt him or our developing friendship or any potential chance we have at getting back together down the line.
Getting together, he's not into you. So,
but we also haven't dated for over 6 months at this point. Am I overthinking this and it's okay to hook up with this guy, or should I suck it up and keep waiting for non-controversial dick? I've met a few other nice guys that are into me, but I'm not attracted to them at all. And I'm struggling to meet anyone else I even remotely like or am attracted to. Love you all in the pod. Thanks in advance for your advice. Mandy.
Oh, Mandy. I know the feeling. I know how you feel. You love him. Like, you are willing to wait for this guy while he figures out how to rewire his dick after his like weird IBS or something, if he even has that. But there are things where men have medication and it makes them limp or whatever. And he's probably insecure about that. But the truth is, he's not into you. That's all there is to it. He really likes you as a friend. You slept together. Maybe he wasn't that into it, coupled with how hard it is for him. There's so many factors against you here. The fact is, if he wanted to, he would. I saw a video of somebody on the Instagram the other day. It's a woman who is remarried to a man, and her former husband, who was in some kind of horrible accident that's wheelchair bound and shriveled now. It's the new husband feeding the old husband. They all live together. The fact that this woman had a husband who is physically and mentally incapacitated living with her, and this new guy was like, I'm so fucking into you, I will spoon feed your probably still legal husband. If he wanted to, he would, and he doesn't. And I know what it feels like when you like someone and you give them all the excuses. He doesn't want to, but he likes you. You don't owe him anything. If you really want shit to hit the fan, or if you really want rubber to meet the road, wrong expression. If you really want rubber to meet the road, you go out with this guy. And if your guy that you love comes back around and is angry, then you know he really did like you and he really is a fucking mess. You don't owe him anything. He's not into you. What you don't want, what you're afraid of is being called slutty. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid you're going to sleep with this new guy and then he texts with Joe and Joe's like, oh, wait a minute. But you guys don't work together. For all intents and purposes, you are just people out in the world dating around, and you are entitled to seek out that physical intimacy just like anyone else who's unattached is. So if you wanted to, you could text Joe, who you aren't even really talking to. Like, just keep in mind, this relationship is only really alive in your head. And as women, Emily, you're like champing at the bit. Horses champ lemon. As women, we are so good at keeping a relationship alive that has no breath in it. Like, oh my God, he liked my post. I know he's looking. I'm sure he's waiting for the right time. Like, we make it this like tantric thing. Homeboy is not even thinking about you. And he's at like some gastrointestinal office most of his days, or he's taking other girls out. You owe him nothing. Go eat.
If you hadn't had the same reason you ended things every time, maybe it would be different. But literally every single time, he's great at the beginning and then he stops communicating. So he's great right now because you only saw him one night. Tomorrow night, he's busy with a dog or something.
He's busy. He's busy. If a guy likes you, he'll be like, I will tie up this dog and I will come see you. You can come over. The dog will be sleeping from 1 to 4. That's it.
I like that you think the dog has to be sleeping for her to come over. Like the dog can't know that she's there because it's going to tell.
Just like a sensitive
no, she
dog.
can come over. If she can come over, the dog can be there.
You know, if you wanted to be a little weird about it, you could reach out to Joe and be like, hey, I was talking to so-and-so. It's also weird. You don't want to be the girl that references from work. Like, you guys haven't worked there in a very long time. And to even say anything to him, like, and I know that you guys work together, because then he'll be like, no, I've never talked to that guy. Or he'll be like, yeah, fucking go. Then you'll feel even dumber. So as long as you're not, and I don't think you are, making out with him to like get back at Joe or something, but you're all unattached, all is fair in the world of dating. You don't. And by the way, if you did not call Joe again, he's not going to call you.
I think he would, but then it would just fizzle out again. Like, they tried it 3 different times. It's not happening.
You don't owe him anything and he doesn't owe you anything. And if he ever brought it up, if he ever threw it back in your face, you could be like, cool, we slept together. You had issues. You never wanted to see me. You ghosted on me many times. You never made it a point to see me. Like, what part of this would ever make me think you wanted a relationship? And then he can explain it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Don't do it from a mean place, but just go for it. And also stop being in love with Joe or stop being his friend.
Yeah, you're not going to.
He's not going to come around to it. Men don't. It doesn't happen like that with men. They don't fall in love with you after they've slept with you and we're not into you.
Yeah.
Only women do that. And then they write a movie about it called Good on Paper on Netflix right now. You know I'm in favor of a capsule wardrobe, a minimalist approach. You know I'm in favor of buying quality items and having them for a long time. Well, you can start your new year with a wardrobe refresh because Quince has you covered with luxury essentials that feel effortless and look polished. The best part is the items that you get on Quince, you would be paying triple for on other websites. And I don't know if that makes you feel better, but that makes me feel incredible knowing that I got something of quality for honestly what it should cost. I got a pair of Australian shearling clog slippers for $58. $58 for gorgeous, comfortable, supportive clogs. Absolutely. And they keep your tootsies so cozy. I am loving these slippers and I am gifting a pair. I love the price. I love the quality. You need to shop at Quince. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza. People are always talking about self-care and wellness and things like that. But the truth is, a lot of times we are disconnected from our bodies. Just because you're taking vitamins or you're thinking you're eating well, it doesn't mean you're getting everything that you need. And a really easy way to help support your body is by trying Kachava. Kachava is a delicious shake. I love it. I love the vanilla. I love adding ice and a banana. I froth it up. I use that as my breakfast. It helps support all-day energy with 5 key vitamins and minerals. It helps fuel and replenish your muscles with protein and electrolytes. Great for those of you who fancy yourselves athletes. And it supports your mind and nervous system with essential minerals. Also your immune system with vitamin C, zinc, and probiotics. Kachava provides 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, adaptogens, and so much more. It's all the good stuff your body craves in 6 delicious flavors like chocolate, vanilla, chai, matcha, coconut, acai, and strawberry. So if you're out there on adventures or getting wild, you can rewild your nutrition at Kachava.com and use code Iliza. New customers get $20 off an order of 2 bags or more now through the 31st. That's Kachava, Kachava.com, code Iliza. The show is brought to you by BetterHelp. The new year is coming up, and I know it's a popular thing to say, like, new year, new me, but that's a lot. And the truth is, the new year doesn't require a new you. You're great the way you are. Maybe you just need a less burdened you, right? A less bothered you, a slightly more centered you, right? All we can do is try. And therapy helps us try. Therapy helps us identify what it is that is holding us back. And it gives you the tools to help adapt, whether that's with family members, interpersonal relationships, someone at work. Therapy helps by offering an unbiased perspective to better understand yourself, relationships, motivations, and emotions, and helps you stay a little bit more centered going into this new year. I love therapy. I have a therapist. I see a therapist. Just because I give advice doesn't mean I don't want to hear advice for myself, right? That's why I'm always talking about BetterHelp. BetterHelp does the initial matching for you.
BetterHelp helps pair you with a therapist that is right for you. And if you aren't happy, you can switch at any time. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the world's largest online therapy platforms. BetterHelp makes it easy to get matched online with a qualified therapist. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Iliza. That's betterhelp.com/Iliza.
Hey, Liza and crew. Longtime fan and listener, I was at the taping of your Confirmed Kill special in Chicago and had an amazing time.
Fuck have you been since? Done so many shows at the Chicago Theater. Since even recently.
They've probably been, but this is the most notable. Yeah. My question is about a friendship I've had since we were teens. This friend, let's call her Erica, and I, female, are 40, single, with no kids. We worked together at a job when we were teenagers, lost touch during college. I moved back to my home state and city where we both now live, and we've reconnected about 10 years ago. We have a few things in common, but we are still very different people. Erica lives with her parents, works part-time in retail, but also picks up jobs doing dog walking, dog sitting, including my dogs. I'm someone who is very driven and independent. I own my own business and have for 20 years. So someone like Erica is baffling to me. She has no desire to move out of her parents' home.
Don't move to LA.
Spends,
be baffled all up and down the street.
Spends all her money on things she doesn't need. She once spent over $500 on candles at an expo we went to together. I need to know what that expo was.
CandleCon.
With all that said, it's really none of my business what she does with her money. And if her parents are okay with her living with them, then that's all that matters. Erica is a kind person, and I really enjoyed her friendship until an incident last year.
Ooh, I'm ready.
I hired Erica to house sit with my dogs while I worked out of state for a few days. She's done this many times in the past. I completely trusted her with my dogs. I arrived at my hotel that first night. She informed me she was going out with a friend that evening and would be home around midnight. I woke up around 2 a.m. the next morning and checked my Ring cameras. Her car was not parked in my driveway. At this point, my dogs had been alone for 10 hours. I called her thinking maybe she was still out with her friends. Turns out she was asleep in her bed. She told me she didn't feel good and ended up not going out with her friend and just needed to be in her bed. Confused, I asked her why she didn't tell me because my dogs are alone, and she said she, quote, didn't want to bother me.
No.
I felt very angry, but kept it cool on the phone, saying, no, you wouldn't bother me at all when it comes to my babies. I ended up having to call my elderly mother to go check on them at 3 a.m.
Why do you have to check on them? Why can't you just come feed them in the morning?
I wonder if they have issues, and it was, I don't know, some dogs need more, like that other dog.
She's like, I wanted to have sex and I couldn't do it in front of your dogs.
The rest of the trip, Erica did stay with my dogs. She apologized and didn't charge me for the first night. Oh, that's also, if I'm paying you to stay with my dogs, you better be there. The thing is, I have had an inkling in prior house sitting events that she wasn't actually staying overnight. My bed would always look pristine and never slept in when I came back home. I just figured she was really tidy or clean the sheets before leaving. Now I'm thinking she never stayed over, but would charge me for overnight.
Can't you check your Ring cam?
Well, I think she didn't before, but now probably she's going to. One of my dogs is a senior and needs potty breaks often.
Oof.
The last time he was in her care, he got severely ill, but got better when I got home and gave him water. For the sake of trying to keep this as short as possible, I won't go into details about that. But I mean, it sounds like
she didn't
Erica
give him water.
Was not. Yeah. Was just gone for days on end.
That means you're getting up at like 3-hour intervals to take your dog out, like at 3 a.m.
An elderly dog, yeah.
Yeah.
This incident has bothered me since, and I can't shake it. I don't see her as trustworthy or even mature anymore. She's always seemed stuck in high school to me, and now it's just been magnified. The last time I hung out with her, I was annoyed by her, and I feel like a bad person. I'm not sure what to do with these feelings or how to proceed with her. I realize I don't get anything out of our friendship anymore. Should I just get over it? Try to find the good and positive things she brings? Am I overreacting? Sincerely, Anonymous.
Well, I don't think it's even any of those. I think you feel like your trust was broken. I think you judge her a little bit for being immature. And you're like, okay, well, if you're going to live in that space, like, then at least do this menial job. I'm not sure why you're friends. I understand that you had a friendship when you were teenagers and you guys live in the same town. So you kind of have these like roots that bond you. But the truth is, even though you're both single, you don't have kids, you're just in different life places. You have a real job and you have a home, and she lives with her parents. That's a tough one because you do judge her choices. You brought it up enough at the beginning, and we see this like style of question asking a lot on here. You do judge it. You kind of think she's bullshit, and you're like, all right, like along came Polly dog walker, come and walk my dogs. But I think the information you were like, the sign you were looking for is the one that's right in front of you. If she can't even serve that purpose and you don't even have fun with her and you're not even in the same space, you probably wouldn't introduce her to any of your friends. She's not like, you're not saying anything to me about like how, wow, this girl's like an amazing hang. I think you just kind of.
She's so kind was the big like thing, which to me is not enough.
It's tough because you could bring it up to her. You could be like, I have like the next time you hung out, if it's often enough, because I don't know if you hang out enough to even bring it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some of those things, like sometimes when you just know, you know. And is she the type of person who would make a bed anyway?
No, she was not staying over. She was charging for overnights and sleeping in her own bed 100%.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I think that like I just needed to be in my own bed. I would text you and be like, I do not feel well. I will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. I already walked the dog, whatever. She was hoping you wouldn't notice. She didn't realize you had a Ring camera. You have no use for this person. So that doesn't make them a bad person. It just makes them, that right there is why she is where she is in life. Because of those habits, those excuses, and those patterns. And you just may not have a use for her, not even in a mean way, but like sometimes no matter how many shared experiences we have with people that we came up with or grew up with or went to college with, sometimes you just have nothing left between you. And sometimes memories aren't enough.
I wouldn't hire her again for sure.
Well, you're not asking about hiring her. You're asking about being her friend.
No, but I think that would be kind of the next thing where it's like when you go out of town and don't hire her, she's going to, if she finds out,
how's she going to find out?
Pissed. Because if they're friends and you're saying I'm going out of town or you're hiding it, I mean, at that point you're hiding it. So then why are you friends? Like, I just think this will naturally dissolve because you don't want to pay her money anymore.
I guess what I'm missing is how often you communicate. I don't know why I thought from your question you don't really talk that much. You're thinking she's going to see your post and you're like headed to San Diego for the weekend and she's going to be like, need a dog sitter. And you don't want to have the conversation where you say, I think you're a liar.
That's not what the question asker is bringing up, but I think that would be the natural next step. The question asker is just saying, look, I've been friends with this person for a really long time. This incident really bothered me, and now I kind of don't want to hang out with her. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. It's a little unfair because she's never gotten a chance to, like, what if she did sleep over and she really just like, she's like, I took extra time to make your bed. I washed the sheets. Like, what if it is a misunderstanding? Then is there enough there to be her friend? I don't know. I don't know if this is a good thing about me or a bad thing, but like, I'm a very trustworthy friend and I'll be there for you. But like, I have had, it happens to me where like someone does one thing and I'm just like, I'm done. And sometimes when you're just done, you're done. It could be, they could say something weird, something that gives me a little bit of insight into maybe the way that they think and it bothers me, or something that they did that to me is a greater social indicator. In bringing it up, you have to be okay with her being offended, but you also, it's your money, it's your dogs. Mm-hmm. So you have to ask yourself, if I brought it up to you, you're like, I have this weird feeling that you didn't sleep over.
She's 100% going to say no matter what, like, no, I made the beds. But it's like, so the next time you hire her, if you hire her, are you going to be on your Ring cameras? Like, is she there? Is she there?
Yeah. I think it's fair to just be like, it's tough because trying to think of the timeline here. You confronted her about the Ring cam. You're like, you weren't there. But then you're saying another time and the dog was sick. I think you don't really owe her anything. I think you're just like, I just decided to go with a different friend who offered, or I went with a dog sitter and that's like more of what they do. And I just felt better about it. Like, she can't question it. She's not going to be like, how dare you? Like, you don't owe her that position.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to be friends with her.
No, and just the fact that it's like she does some dog sitting, she does some of that. I feel like she's kind of off the like rover and stuff. She's just kind of picking up. I don't know. You don't want to hang out with her, and this was the excuse, and that's fine.
That's fine. That's it. And if you want to put a nail in the coffin, you can be like, you could just say to her, like, I was kind of uncomfortable with how it went down, and I know that I said it was okay, but it kind of bothered me, and these are my babies, and I just thought it would be easier to hire someone who does this professionally, and so that's what I did. Either she'll be like, I am so sorry, I broke your trust, I want to be your friend. Or she'll be like, I did it and you're shitty. And either way, you're out.
Right.
But you don't owe her an excuse. And I know, God, we all do those things where you're like, okay, I said no. Like, sometimes I'll cancel a set for another reason, but then I'll have a different set that night. So I'll have to write in my calendar, make sure not to book set at 7 because you said you couldn't do it. Like, I have like a little list of lies.
I have that if I haven't replied to a text. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not posting on Instagram.
I've done that. You also don't have to post that you're going out of town. Or my mom watched it. I had my dad watch it. Like, whatever. You can always, like, but the truth is, you don't want to be friends with this person. And you can just quietly let it go.
Hi, Liza. Emily Hot Scotty. I have a workplace question. I need some outside perspective. I've worked for a local restaurant chain since 2017. When the original owner retired, I stayed on with his business partner who now owns 2 locations. I've been his catering manager and head of training for 5 years. Last year, when he opened a second location, he brought me and the assistant manager from our original store to set it up. After about 8 months, the assistant manager left on good terms, and since then, I've been the acting manager of the new location on top of my original role. Here's the problem. I have the workload and responsibility of a GM, but none of the authority. Yeah. I can hire and train, but I can't write people up or terminate them. My GM, I'm assuming general manager at the original store, fully supports me and agrees with my assessments, but we've both been told by the owner to stay in our lanes. I currently have 2 employees who absolutely need to go. Employee number 1 is chronically late, 30 to 90 minutes, never in uniform, wears earbuds on the cook line, takes phone calls during shifts, walks out to talk on the phone, and leaves right at close, even if minors are left alone counting money. Despite all this, the owner insists she's, quote, more valuable than a hindrance right now.
Because she is a line cook. And those are hard to find. That's why.
Employee number 2 is very nice, but completely incapable. After 4 months, he can't run a single station. He can prep and wash dishes. That's it. I can't schedule him alone, yet he's being paid a full cook's wage simply because he's pleasant. My question is, how do you get an owner to actually hear you when they trust you with everything except the power to fix the problem? And how do you protect yourself from burning out when you're expected to manage chaos you're not allowed to correct? End of post.
Would more money solve your problem?
I don't know. I think that this person is.
Here's what happened. You agreed to more responsibility and you did not update your terms. So you have proved stalwart, you've proved dependable, and you've proved that you can work under these conditions. I think you have to have a come to Jesus. Your GM supports you. I think you go to that owner and you say, I've proven to be a dependable employee. I care about this. When you said jump, I said how high. I cannot do my job with these people. I would like to head up the search to find their replacements, or they need to pay you for doing 2 jobs. But right now they're giving you extra responsibility. And like you said, none of the authority, and they are saddling you with 2 employees who make your job harder, which isn't right. Yeah, they're not going to fire. Listen to me. If they don't fire those 2 dunces, they're definitely not going to fire you.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like so few companies understand how bad morale could be because of 1 or 2 people.
I think you have a list like you showed us, and Emily would tell you to like itemize like every time they were late, and you show it to them and you just say, I cannot do my job. I don't know if it's like there's a reason that they're not firing these people. I don't know if it's a bad look based on like another set of criteria or something, but you are unable to do your job. They are making more work for you and you're already not being paid. You're not being compensated for this extra work. So it really comes down to whose bottom line are you watching?
I think we have to talk about the consequences, though, because here's the thing. So she's 30 to 90 minutes late. So what does that mean for the store? Is it just annoying? Or then do you have to call someone else in and pay more money? Are you having to do it even though you should be doing something else? Like, what is actually happening as a result of their behavior? That's a great point. Is pleasant guy being paid? You say he's being paid, but he's not doing anything. So you're paying 2 salaries? You could, if you're like, we could save this much money if we hired someone who knew how to do this job.
I think you could run those numbers if that's the kind of math that you can do. It'd be like, if we hired a real cook, a real whatever, they could do X more work in this much time. Are you paying for that woman when she's 90 minutes late? And are you picking up that slack? Like, I think you need, because if it is just annoying and she was late, but there were no customers, whatever. But I think if you can like look at it through some sort of rubric, some sort of metrics, and be like, you are losing money and it's making it harder for me, your best employee. And if that person doesn't hear you, you got to go.
Because I've wanted multiple people at jobs fired, and it's never a good look to just be like, this person's bad. Like, It's just not. Now our question asker is in a position where they should be able to, like, she should just be a general manager, but
You should be able to be put in that role, and you've been there long enough. You've proved your loyalty. But if I were a manager or an owner and an employee took the time to do all that math for me to say, hey, I'm watching your bottom line, and these two people are not only hard for me to work with, but they're costing you money, I would see so much value in that employee. And I would like to think if I weren't an idiot, because a lot of people just have money and aren't good owners, operators. I learned that from Shark Tank. I would be like, oh my God, what can I do to keep you? I tried that with Emily. Obviously it didn't work. Now we have a podcast.
to snitch or not to snitch, a workplace scandal.
Can I just say one thing?
Good morning. Yeah.
I've been holding my hand like this, like trying to listen. And I made some turkey bacon and I overcooked it. And it's just like weirdly formed nitrate meat. And my hand smells like urine. And this whole time I've just been like inhaling what smells like urine on my hand. And I'm just miserable.
I thought you were trying to, for a second, you were like, I've been holding my hand. I thought you were trying to show off that ring. And I was like, you're already married. I don't know what
It's a pinky ring. Because I'm a pimp.
Yeah, I know. But when you said there's something I have to tell you about my hand being like this, I
My
thought
hand smells like turkey urine.
So did you put your hand
I
away?
burned- I'm trying to prop up my head.
Why don't you switch arms?
It's like this.
That's great. Stay there. Bye. Good morning, AIA Inc. I, 29 female, work on a team of about 15 people. A coworker on the team, Ashley, mid-40s, was recently discovered to have essentially not done her job for the entire year. Our boss was furious and placed her under my guidance, requiring her to complete overdue work with frequent check-ins with him. When this first came out, she came to me crying and asking for help, but she also started frequently calling in sick. Over the holidays, I met with a former teammate. I learned that Ashley previously held his current role. They essentially swapped places. And the same thing happened there. She was responsible for a product, didn't work on it, missed the deadline, called in sick when confronted, and then quit. She ghosted her job. This appears to be a clear pattern, and I'm the only one who knows. My dilemma is whether to tell my boss. If I do, he'll likely figure out the information came from my friend, as this is a very small niche industry. I don't want to involve him in any drama. I'm also unsure it would change anything since Ashley's now being monitored closely and may be moved to another team soon. On the other hand, not telling feels like giving her a free pass to keep repeating this behavior by hopping between companies. I'm also frustrated knowing she played on my sympathy as if this were a one-time mistake. Crocodile tears were involved. And that she makes twice the salary I do. So do I snitch? No.
Ooh, really?
No, because even though I hate this woman, she's going to be fired either way. Like, you don't want to give up your hand that you're getting info from other people. I just feel like they already caught her.
It's not like this isn't like industry where you're like trading like insider info and like shorting whole companies, a term I totally know.
No, I wouldn't need my boss knowing that, number one, I'm like snitching. Number two, I have a friend who's reporting to me about the other coworker. I don't know. I just think they already have caught her. She's not going to get away with this.
Does her lack of work impact your work? Doesn't sound like it.
It sounds like this person's been put in charge of supervising her a little bit, but in which case it's like, great. Then you can say like, I supervised this person.
I supervised her and she sucked.
Well,
that's your job to report it. Like supervising, you also have to give it
that
quarterly.
she sucks.
Right.
But I don't think you have to say she was working another job where she also got fired. It's like, yeah.
It's tough because I work in an industry where absolute idiots fail laterally and upward. And you will meet people who work like they cannibalize every relationship. And every time you meet someone, they'll be like, oh my God, I heard so-and-so's the worst. And I'm like, but you guys keep working with this person because the incoming employer doesn't know it. And so it bothers you because people like this get to keep functioning. Eventually you burn enough bridges or you don't, or enough people leave or do what you do and they don't want to say anything. So the cleaner answer is say nothing because it sounds like she will sink herself. I don't know that it makes you look bad if you have a relationship with your boss to pull them aside to be like, I just want to let you know this. I think it could go either way, but I don't know how close you are with that boss. Definitely put nothing in writing. Only if it impacts you negatively, but it sounds like she's about to also fuck up again. And I wouldn't take it personally that she did like crocodile tears around you because it sounds like that's just her MO. Like, I don't think she saw you as weak. She was like, if I do this, everyone gives me what I want.
Yeah. You can definitely, I think the farthest I would go with your boss is being like, she sure is sick a lot now that she's been called out, huh? Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of like, huh? But not actually saying, I think she's defrauding the company.
I don't think she's defrauding the company. I think she's just someone that can't do her work. It's annoying that can you just take her job?
Where she makes more?
There's also like that like CEO thing where like, it's like there was that documentary Waiting for Superman where it was about like bad teachers in schools and how bad teachers get passed around. Like maybe at a certain level, some executives just get passed around. I don't know the kind of, look, I gab and talk shit in a cone of silence with executives all the time. So I don't know what kind of relationship you have. Honestly, there's what Emily would do and there's what I would do. And it sounds like it would impact you very little if you were like, just so you know, because I don't want you to look stupid. Like you're giving her the second chance, but like this is what she did at ComCon, the last company.
I would say they probably have to give her that second chance legally anyway. There's like, you can't just, even in Atwill, like there has to be certain processes. So it's like they've put her on a performance improvement. She's being monitored. They're doing all the steps to fire her. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there'd be massive fallout if you told.
I don't think so either. I think Emily's playing it safe. I think if you have a relationship and you'd be like, I want you to know because I don't want you throwing your good money after bad, that like, this is the thing that she does. But you don't want to look petty because then it's like, well, it's always like you girls work it out. And you're like, you could also wait until this next quarter, see if it does improve. I think you could really go either way. I think it's just about how do you feel that day? Do you feel like being a bitch? Because sometimes you do. Sometimes you do and it feels really good.
Yeah.
People are always talking about self-care and wellness and things like that. But the truth is, a lot of times we are disconnected from our bodies. Just because you're taking vitamins or you're thinking you're eating well, it doesn't mean you're getting everything that you need. And a really easy way to help support your body is by trying Kachava. Kachava is a delicious shake. I love it. I love the vanilla. I love adding ice and a banana. I froth it up. I use that as my breakfast. It helps support all-day energy with 5 key vitamins and minerals. It helps fuel and replenish your muscles with protein and electrolytes. Great for those of you who fancy yourselves athletes. And it supports your mind and nervous system with essential minerals. Also your immune system with vitamin C, zinc, and probiotics. Kachava provides 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, adaptogens, and so much more. It's all the good stuff your body craves in 6 delicious flavors like chocolate, vanilla, chai, matcha, coconut, acai, and strawberry. So if you're out there on adventures or getting wild, you can rewild your nutrition at Kachava.com and use code Iliza. New customers get $20 off an order of 2 bags or more now through the 31st. That's Kachava, Kachava.com, code Iliza.
Hi, Liza, Baby Arm, Hot Scotty, and all the babies in the famed AIA podcast crew. Not a nurse, but I do have a master's degree and have listened to the entire AIA compendium not once, not twice, but 3 times through.
On regular
Hot
speed?
takes never go stale.
I love that. I also want to know who's the first person who's going to say hi to Glenn Millie. We'll see.
We'll see. God, I have a New Year, New You-esque question about breaking up with friends. Shocker. But instead of a single friend, it's a whole group.
Ooh.
What's a classy way to part ways when the vibe is off, but no one did anything wrong? Context about the group. We are 8 moms in our late 30s, early 40s that started with a handful who knew each other from our kids' daycare.
Yeah.
3 of us, myself included, decided to start a book club about 2 years ago, which gradually expanded to the current 8 people, mostly by one mom who has an older son in elementary school, inviting other elementary school mom friends. Believe it or not, we function as a true book club in that we all, or at least most, actually read the book. We take turns hosting. We talk about our thoughts on the book, among all the other things white suburban moms talk about, obviously. Why I'm looking to break up. As the group grew, I started to feel more and more invisible. 6 out of the 8 moms have kids in the same elementary school, so you know each other more through all those events. 7 of them have older kids than me, which makes some conversation topics feel like I have nothing to say because I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But mostly I just feel like in the group, I'm not remembered, seen, or connected. We have a book club text thread, and more than once it'll be popping off about something. And when I chime in, it goes silent, like I'm some conversation boner killer.
Yeah.
People will remember things that someone else in the group is doing and ask about them in the chat, but I'm never on the receiving end. I even like most of these women one-on-one, but forcing my involvement in the bigger group feels worse and worse. I'd rather put what energy I have as a working mom of 2 toddlers towards friendships where I actually get something in return than just being part of a group in name only where I feel like I just come off as desperate, even though I have strong friendships elsewhere, including other local moms. So how do I do this gracefully without it becoming a thing? A few of them thrive on the specter of drama like this. I just don't want to fuel any of that. Our next book club is January 9th. Okay, we missed that one. And I'm hosting, but she couldn't cancel before hosting, which means I won't be leaving things in the lurch by ghosting on hosting. We'd also decided
where else could we sit and talk about a book?
We also decided to cap book club at 8 people because schedules are hard enough. So if I bow out, it makes room for someone else who may be naturally more connected to the group than I am. Sorry for the novella. I cannot wait to get your perspective here. I have plenty more context if needed. Just ask, and you can use my name. I know one girl is a fan, but I'm 99% sure no one in this group knows the gold that is this podcast. Love everything you do. And this is Angela.
Well, we aim to change that in the coming year, Angela. I totally hear you. And I think as I'm now making my way through being a mom of young kids, it's such a special bond when you meet other moms that are in the same grade as your kid. And you don't always bond with them. I happen to with the class that's here. It was in 2 years ago. And we are all still friends, even though our kids are in different classes within the same school. And I love our group so much. And I'm well aware of the fact that we're all going to go to different schools soon. And I think these friendships are very fluid. I think there's a couple special ones. Your kids meet when you're little and it stays. But I think as moms, being prepared for the fluidity and the time that new school friends will take up. You know, your kids are going to go to a different elementary school and a different middle school. And right now, a lot of those moms are bonded because their kids are are in the same school and you're not a part of that. So you are right to feel left out. And I think if more women just acknowledge like there's nothing wrong with you, we just don't have the exact thing in common that happens to be bonding us. Who cares if they want drama? You're out. I would be interested to know, I'd love an update about how that book club went, but what you are picking up on is exactly what they are throwing down, whether inadvertently or on purpose. You are not a part of the glue. You have less in common with them as the rest of them do with each other. And so your information, and by the way, you even said yourself, you've got other friends and other relationships. This is the time to nurture those. Start that book club. You don't have to send it on the text. You could send it. There's always one queen bee in the group. Or you could send a little text to the group and be like, hey, girls, you keep it so positive. I love you girls so much. This has been so fun. But I think I'm going to opt out of the book club because our schedules are getting crazy and I really want to focus on my kids and the school that they're in. And that's it. You don't owe a big public apology. You could honestly just tell 1 or 2 women and then that you feel closest with and then just kind of be done. I understand the drama thing because I've definitely left group chats and I've gotten a friend. She'd be like, we saw that you left. And I was like, yeah, I left it. I don't care. My daughter doesn't like playing soccer. I left the group chat. What's going to happen? And nobody cares. If anybody wanted to make drama out of it, that would mean that they didn't like you. And I'm not getting the vibe that they don't like you. And I just can't imagine any mom not understanding this. I also,
no.
And also we all want our own fiefdom. We all want to feel. This is what that's what every human, but especially for women, every woman wants to be the center of her own little mom universe. Whether you're the crunchy moms on the east side or you're the Land Rover driver moms on the west side or you're the Valley mom or whatever kind of mom you are, you want to find your ilk, you want to find your group and you want to be with moms that are going through the same thing as you. To your point, I don't want to hear about middle school because even by the time my kid gets there, whatever you're telling me now will not be relevant. And I don't want to hear about a school that my kids aren't in because I can't chime in. So what bonded you is not what bonds you now. And that's it.
And our question asker did the hard part. They started this group in the first place. They can go start another group. It'll be fine. But I also don't think, you don't need to tell anyone there unless you're really close with them why you're leaving. I think it doesn't, and you didn't say you were going to, but it's like, just back out. You're done with the group. You don't want to hang out with them anymore. Great.
And you know what? If there's a handful of them that you really love, you could text, be like, yeah, I left the book club because like I didn't think it'd be a big deal. Like treat it like it's not a big deal. Like my schedule just got so busy. Do you want to grab coffee? Like you can be individual friends, like you said, and maybe the group just isn't serving you, but you don't need to like cry to them. You're like, and I just feel left out because they'll be like, well, what do you want us to say? Like nobody is thinking enough about it. And if there is drama, good news is you left.
We're all talking about elementary school things.
You keep it super upbeat. I love you girls so much. This was so much fun. Let's all I don't think I would address the whole group because the worst would be is if you did it and then they didn't write back.
I think you have to, I think in the thread, you do have to be like, hey, because they're planning, they're assuming there's 8 people every time. So I think you have to be like, like I'm done, like nicely, but I'm done. So that when they plan the next one, they're not asking you for your avails.
Yeah. Just be like, hey girls, I think I'm going to sit this next one out. I'm going to
set it out forever.
I'm going to sit this out. I'm just going to I'm starting to get more involved with my girls at their school. I love you ladies so much. And we'll always have, 50 Shades of Grey, LOL. Let's all head out for a drink sometime or just keep it as you intend it, which is just like, this isn't working, but I love you. There's no anger. Lots of emojis. Women love to see emojis. Don't use a lot of emojis. It makes you look crazy. If you use, there is that like fine line of like, oop, that was a weird peace sign one. Now you're an idiot.
I got sent one I didn't know was a thing the other day. No, you know what? Jamie put it on an Instagram post, your friend Jamie. And I was like, what's the purple ooze? I've never seen this one. I was really excited to see a new emoji.
For her, Halloween is all year. Speaking of emojis, this is so random, but we had a friend over, a parent friend, and he was talking about like his adventures in, dating and being a gay man. And he was like, apparently there's a whole set of emojis that mean certain things. And he was like, for example,
roses.
What?
Roses for prostitution.
Okay. You're thinking of Craigslist and you're 400 years old. Basically, he met up with a guy online and it wasn't an emoji. I'm sorry. The guy goes, do you like to party? And I would think partying meant coke.
Drugs. Yes. Does it not?
I would think it meant cocaine.
Yeah.
It means meth. So he goes, this guy showed up. He's like 6'10". And he goes, he pulls out a fanny pack. He goes, if you ever see a gay man with a fanny pack, just know it's filled with drugs. And he pulls out meth. And this guy was like, get the fuck out of my house. And the guy was like, you said you liked this. He's like, I never said that. What are you talking about? He kicks him out. Our friend goes back, looks at his text later. And in the dating app, the guy goes, do you like to party? And he wrote, I love to party. Champagne emoji, champagne emoji, champagne emoji. I love partying. It's my physical. He's like, I love meth. And the guy comes over.
Meth to me, this might be judgmental. Meth to me, like I think of Whitney Houston saying crack is whack. Like everybody has a line. It's like crack and meth. I'm like, what's happening?
Meth.
What are we doing here? This is
losing teeth? No.
I'm worried about that. Yeah.
But my advice to you would be to find like the women that you connect with the most on there, maybe 3 of them, and just kind of give them a heads up. That way, when they gossip, you'll have 3 standing up for you to be like, yeah, she's just got like, women love to be like, I was in the know. Oh no, she's just really busy with her girls. That way there's something anchoring the group to the truth because you go to key players in the group. Or you do like I do and you just exit out of a soccer conversation and let them squabble.
It really is. I was shocked to learn. I just watched that movie, The Plague, which is about like young boys being bullied, and it's really intense. It's a good thriller. But I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that little boys were bullied in the way that little girls are. Because I'm thinking, Eliza, as you set this up, like, God, the amount of political intrigue you have to set up to leave a book club.
I leave group. There's also this weird thing. I think if someone has an Android, you can't leave a thread without blocking it. Like I'm on a thread and I was like, this sucks. This is not a friend thing. And I went to leave the group and it was like, leave and block. I'm like, it's not that dramatic. Why do I have to leave and kill yourself?
You might have to.
Anyway, you just leave. But by the way, they do not value your friendship. Otherwise, they write back. They don't care about you.
I think I don't care about you is too aggressive. I think it's,
no, it's not. They don't care. I don't care about you and like, I hate you way. And then there's like, yeah, you're just not, they don't care. And if they only care when you leave, then those aren't your friends.
Yes.
Turkey.
Okay. Hi, AIA team. I love the pod. Have been a loyal listener since the start. I have a question. My husband comes from an enmeshed family, and one of the symptoms of the enmeshment is his mother thinks everything is about her. One example is her saying, "We are pregnant," referring to her, me, and my husband.
Oh, okay. That's fucking weird.
We have decided we teach people how to treat us, so we are going to start actively calling her out on her shit. Do you have good comeback/replies for when my mother-in-law makes things about her when they're not? Thank you, Sabrina.
You could just be like, I don't remember you being there. I mean,
Well, I would hope you weren't there.
be like, I thought that was your hand. His hand did feel
Ugh.
smaller.
Ugh.
I mean, to whom are you speaking when she says these things? Is this like to another family member? And you can be like, were you there? Why do you keep saying we? Are you close? People always write in asking for these like on the spot punchlines.
Yeah.
You could just be like, sorry, we're not from West Virginia.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, and also how embarrassed do you want her to be? You could to the side and be like, it's just because she's meaning it. You're saying enmeshed. Like, is she like overly possessive about her son? Like, I think there's something so sad about it. It's like, just let her say it. Nobody thinks the three of you had sex. It is weird, but like sometimes in correcting a weirdo, it's like, now what? Like, does it really take anything away from it that she's a fucking, like, she just looks bizarre.
Yeah.
People are going to leave not excited that you're pregnant, but they're going to leave being like, that's so weird that the mother thinks it's her baby. It's like when you go out with your parents, if one of your parents says something that you think is embarrassing, the truth is no one's embarrassed. It wasn't that embarrassing. And you're the only one like roiling. So I would just let it go.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, and how are we doing today? Like, it's just, I feel bad for her.
The bigger issue is that the mother is really selfish and makes everything about herself. You need more than just like a quip on the spot.
And
it needs to be a further conversation.
Yeah, I think this is a big, I think if in general she were fine and she said that, you'd be like, wow, that's wacky. I think you call her out on something bigger.
Yeah. That's
your real issue. Your real issue is something that you're not writing in this podcast. Because if everything else were great and she said you'd be like, well, that's a little strange, but that's weird.
Okay, time for top of the cob / time for bottom of the cob.
It's the top of the cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
When did you write one? You don't have to. I know, but maybe he did. Maybe he
can't surprise him.
No, he said no. He said no.
You could just be asking people. When you used to have guests on this show, they'd be like, I would put it in such bold. Like, this is the only thing you need to pre-prep, the only thing. And then they'd be like, what?
Glenn struck me as the kind of person that would have one that I didn't want to. And he'd be like, I was hoping you would ask me, but he didn't. He didn't fucking do it.
Well, I didn't sign my release form yet. So I thought, I should have weighed in on this episode.
Release forms. Okay.
Okay,
I'll give you my.
all
All right, let's start with bottoms.
Okay. My bottom of the cob is that I should have bought more silver before the price started going up.
I hate you. You could buy it now. It's only going to go up further. Go.
I know, but I missed it. I missed my window. Fan bottom. Feeling rushed when getting dressed and leaving too quickly. So the heat of the shower gets trapped to your clothes. So you feel kind of hot and sweaty all evening.
Absolutely. And if you're trying to like iron your hair straight and then like it's still just kind of like wet at the base of your neck. Yes. Hot terrarium vibes.
Yeah.
My bottom of the cob, this does not, just in case anyone from the meeting today is listening, because it was a great meeting. It has nothing to do with you guys. My bottom of the cob, there are certain buildings in LA that when you see you have a meeting there, you're like, fuck. One of them's the Fox lot. And one of them is the Galleria at the 405 and the 101.
Oh.
See Glenn Milley nodding. It was a mall that like developers couldn't part with because it was such an archaeological wonder, this giant fucking cinder block off the freeway. It's been turned into office spaces. And I don't know why I hate it. It's not even that hard to navigate. It's just a chunk of a building with no personality. And a lot of production offices are in it. And they'll send you this really long thing about parking. And it's just, I think there's always some assistant that's tasked with explaining parking, not realizing that I'm just going to Google map it and figure it out when I get there. And it's just always like, come up to level 1. You have to go walk onto this like outdoor mall. And all there is like a Buffalo Wild Wings and a PF Chang's and like
B-dubs,
like a random like bodega. And then like a Robex juice shop. Like there's nothing there that anyone needs. And then a mall that was turned into office space. And I'm like, why do we have to have this? Why can't we have a public park? Like, why can't we have something nice? And I think there was a movie theater there. It's not there anymore. Like it's like when an IHOP or like when an IHOP becomes something else, we're like, nice try. We see that A-frame roof. Like there's certain things where you're just like, nice try. We know used to be an Arby's. Like, nice try. I know used to be a mall. And there's just spaces jammed in there. And it's just such a suck. And just the fact that your instructions are like, we're right across from the PF Chang's. You're like, was this the goal in Hollywood?
Well, that and that crossroads of the world. When you used to have meetings there, it's like, what happens in there?
I
What's going
auditioned for
on?
Spencer Confidential in that Crossroads of the World complex. For those of you that don't know, it's this like ancient eyesore on Hollywood Sunset Boulevard. And it was at one point like all these bungalows, I'm sure like the studios put up prostitutes there or something. And it's just there. And it just looks like a lot of small storefronts, but there's like casting offices there. But like you can tell it mattered at one point. Now it's just Spanish style in there.
Bizarre.
Most of LA is that, like a really ugly, weird building that people just can't part with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, top of the cob. My top is sometimes you get foods that are like just as good microwaved. And you're like, ooh, I'm going to heat up a little treat. I had a noodle casserole thing that I had taken from my parents' house, microwaved it today for lunch. Thought this is just the same, and I'm happy with that.
Are your parents white? I couldn't tell by the thing you were heating up.
I know, exactly. Okay. Top from a listener. I have been using an old film camera, record player, and reel watch, and it's remarkable how little advertising I have to bear witness to now. Not to sound like a tinfoil hat person, but I'm loving the use of less techie things where I can, because that's less of my data that can be sold to Meta, Google, etc.
Love that. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Come take my data. I don't care. At this point, I don't care.
Yeah, that's a good one though, because I mean, they already have all our data. I don't care about that, but like, just not seeing.
I will say when Whole Foods is like scanning with your palm, I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. But the government already has it. Like, chances are they're not going to bother you.
What's crazy with that kind of thing is when the Whole Foods first had the thing where they're like, I think it was Whole Foods, you go in and you get groceries and you can leave. Right. You don't have to scan anything. And they just, they're like our tracking technology. But what it really was people were in a warehouse watching, right, to show a proof of concept. And then when it proved that it worked, they did the same thing for like one of those meeting softwares where it was actually two guys.
Just watching.
They're like, we have this AI that's taking notes. It was two guys joining every meeting, taking notes.
Well, that's like, what's her name with the blood machine? Theranos.
Oh, Elizabeth Holmes.
Where it was like, that's not what it was. And people were actually running the blood and it was actually a fake blood center, whatever. Okay, my top of the cob is I bought a deck. I bought a DJ like controller, like deck to learn how to DJ. And I guess I'm forcing myself to say it as my top of the cob. That way I can't just like stop doing it. I bought it. I watched a tutorial. I downloaded the drivers. I have been playing music all weekend. I knew about beat matching because I DJ'd one summer at a bar where I didn't actually have to match up the beats and nobody cared. And I have a DJ coming over to kind of like help me get started. And then I realized that I have other friends that DJ, so I'm going to like slowly invite them over. And in my perfect world, I can throw dance parties after my shows.
What's your DJ name?
I probably just have to, I was thinking of DJ Party Goblin, but I think it just has to be DJ Iliza. Because at this point, it's not like Eskeet or whatever, Timothy Chalamet, where like no one knew. But like, I feel like all signs point to this. And ever since I was 16 and I took a trip to Spain, I've been in love with EDM music. So we're going to see. Sorry, with EDM music. EDM music is redundant. I don't care about making music. I just want to play the songs I want to hear. And I bought it. So off I go. It was in the Patreon. And next time we talk to you, we'll be from our brand new studio with Glenn Millen. And that's it. Get out. Glenn Millen.